While the previous model was doing nothing to excite anyone or differentiate itself from the rest of the mid-sized SUV pack, the design of this 2022 Kia Sportage is so bold as to be quite literally turning heads. Though not in that what a funky car, but I'd never actually buy one kind of way. The lineup consists of 4 grades, from the entry S to the mid-range SX, and SX Plus and finishing up with the top-spec GT line. Here we have the SX, powered by a 2.0-liter turbodiesel with 8-speed torque converter automatic transmission and all-wheel drive. Other engines are available, though this is undoubtedly the best one, more on that later. All trims benefit from the striking boomerang daytime running lights and tiger nose grille, and it wears the new Kia logo that was introduced last year. But while the exterior styling of the mid-spec SX variant is pretty lush, its interior lacks some of the bells and whistles that give the flagship GT line its premium feel. So does the SX still represent good value? Or should you stretch to more expensive models higher in the range? Let's find out. The 2022 Kia Sportage range starts at $36,820 drive away for the lowest spec S on offer. But the SX we have with the 2.0-liter turbodiesel and the 8-speed auto comes in at $47,193 drive away, plus add an extra $520 on top for premium paint, which in this case is gravity gray. You can buy the SX for less than $40,000 if you prioritize price over driving performance. Opting for the 2.0-liter petrol engine with a 6-speed manual drops the sticker price down to $39,483 drive away. Meanwhile, the top-spec GT line will set you back between $54,457 and $57,583 drive away depending on the powertrain chosen. There has been a significant price bump from the last model, when it arrived in 2018. But does it matter? Increasingly, with supply issues, shipping issues and COVID-19 issues, it would seem not. Taking the Sportage on a day out to Mother's Beach in Mornington, we returned after a cheeky ice cream pit stop to find a couple in their 50s giving the Kia the eye as if it were from a luxury brand. "Wow," the hubby proclaimed. "That's a good-looking thing, isn't it?" It turned out the couple's daughter had recently tried to buy a Sportage, but wasn't prepared to wait the expected 6 months it would take to get her hands on it. She bought the new Peugeot 3008 instead, which at $58,695 drive away in GT 2.0-liter diesel guys, is more than $11,500 over the price of the Kia. The point being, they splashed the cash anyway just to get into a car ASAP. Bestsellers in the segment such as the Mazda CX-5 and Toyota RAV4 are also pricier than the Kia, commanding around $3,000 and $1,000 more respectively for the roughly equivalent CX-5 Touring Active and RAV4 GXL. The new Mitsubishi Outlander, however, is around $2,000 less expensive if you go for the equivalent mid-spec LS all-wheel drive. There are some slight spec and equipment differences to note, of course, and the Toyota and Mitsubishi don't offer a diesel engine. The Toyota comes with a frugal 2.5-liter petrol hybrid drivetrain, and the Mitsi a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated petrol. As standard, the SX gets Kia's new 12.3-inch infotainment screen paired with a 12.3-inch digital instrument panel, auto up/down window controls in the front, 6-speaker sound system, and Sat-NAV that works well, even if it looks a little cluttered with the split screen in use, and is unnecessarily fiddly to use on the go. Opting for the more focused single-view layout is much better and far less distracting, making use of that vast screen space and minimalist map layout, but Apple CarPlay/Android Auto-supported apps are still the better option. The infotainment can be accessed through a touch panel rather than physical buttons, which can be toggled between the menu options and climate control. It works well, and you don't find yourself missing the hard buttons at all. SX trim also nabs a full-size spare wheel, 18-inch alloys, LED headlights and taillights, silver roof rails, body-colored mirror housings, and gloss black bumpers and wheel arches, which oddly, we feel, give it a cleaner, more premium aesthetic than the matte black plastic alternative found on the higher grades. What it loses, being 2 steps down from the range-topping GT line, isn't a deal-breaker, but does take away from some of its charm. In place of a rotary dial gear shifter is a traditional stick, and it forgoes the panoramic sunroof, easy open doors, wireless device charging, front fog lights, paddle shifters, a powered tailgate, and a smart key. Oddly, wireless Apple CarPlay/Android Auto is only available on the entry-level S, that has a smaller 8.0-inch touchscreen. We can't tell you how frustrating it is to be missing a powered tailgate and keyless start on a car of this price and general overall standard. and how glaringly obvious it is when the absent buttons are filled in with blank plastic just to make sure you realize what you don't have. Actually, we can tell you, having to physically insert a key these days, and not just chuck it into a cup holder or not have to bother getting it out of your bag or pocket at all, plus manually pulling down quite a heavy tailgate, is pretty tedious. Sure, it's not really a big deal, first world problems and all, but they're the touches modern car buyers expect. As a result of losing the smart key, the SX also drops the remote parking assist function found on the GT line, which is a cool selling point of the new generation Sportage. The tailgate button on the key only serves to unlock the boot separately from the doors. As far as safety equipment goes, the SX gets almost the full suite available in the Sportage range, including systems such as ABS, stability control, hill start assist, lane keep assist, blind spot collision warning and avoidance, autonomous emergency braking, front and rear parking sensors, a rear view camera, 3 top tether anchors and 2 ISOFIX points, easily found and accessible, making installing a car seat a cinch in seconds. Trailer stability assist, high beam assist and blind spot collision avoidance, however, are only available in the Auto SX, not the manual. In fact, the only safety equipment left off the SX's extensive safety list, and held back for the top of the range GT line, is the self-dimming rear view mirror, surround view monitor with 3D mode, blind spot view monitor and reverse parking collision avoidance assist. Having recently driven the GT line, we missed the blind spot view monitor in the SX, as it's a nifty feature that shows the view down the sides of the vehicle when indicating. Some of the alarms for the safety alerts were a little grating at first, but fortunately you can adjust the volume up or down, or even on or off for many of them, including the rear occupant alert and seatbelt warning, to suit you. Like us, you may well find it comes to that when the annoyingly loud bongs of the rear parking sensors were so penetrating that any chance of relaxing to the sounds of nature feature found in the media system was nigh on impossible. Turning them down to a lower, though still perfectly audible, level was much better. While the SX gains Kia's standout 12.3-inch infotainment/digital display, there's little else inside to set it apart from the entry-level S variant. There's a lot of hard plastic to be found, especially on the doors and center console, which undermines the sense of quality a little. Brushed metal dash garnish and grain effect for the door handle surrounds help elevate things, as does the leather-appointed gear selector. Though it's a real shame the SX loses out on the rotary dial available in the GT line grade, as it's surprisingly easy to use and looks great. The doors and central armrest benefit from soft-touch faux leather, but the seat fabric is a real letdown, with the black cloth trim proving scratchier than a canvas bag. Our test variant also lacks the heated and ventilated seats on offer higher up in the model range, as well as replacing 8-way electrically adjustable ones with a manual option. A saving grace here is that it does come with 2-way lumbar support over the base S, and even though it is manually operated, it does help with seat comfort, which is more than adequate for a long journey. Like the rest of the Sportage range, the SX boasts impressive levels of space in the front, rear and boot for the mid-sized SUV segment, with 543L on offer with all seats up or 1829L with the second row down, more than enough room to swing a cat or, if you'd prefer, to sling in a pram, esky, beach trolley and inflatable paddleboard before even thinking of expanding upwards to the roof. A day out with a packed car of 4 adults and a child in a car seat is handled easily with room to breathe, as well as plenty of legroom and headroom plus pockets on both sides. While the driver and front passenger have use of 2 USBs in the cabin, one Type A and one Type C, there are none in the back, and the air vents are directional only. 2 12V sockets also feature, one in the center console and the other in the boot. There are 2 lovely big cup holders in said console too, with neat retractable supports to keep smaller bottles or cans fitted snugly without risk of a spill. Each door has space for a bottle, but only slim 500 milliliters or child-size vessels, anything larger won't fit. With families in mind, there are 2 features we especially want to call attention to here, one good and one bad. Bad news out the way first? No privacy/tinted glass for rear windows, and it's not an option either, so be prepared to ruin the jazzy exterior look with a daggy window sock to protect young eyes and skin from the sun, or budget for an aftermarket tint upgrade. Good news? Quiet mode. In the car's infotainment system is a quiet mode which isolates the sound from the speakers to the front row only and limits the volume to a maximum of 25. A great idea so parents can keep listening to the radio or podcast while little ones kip in the back. Door apertures are good for getting smaller members of the family in and out too, and there's a nice weight to the doors to keep them in place while doing so.